Deep inside the willow wood forest, something strange has happened. Rico the bear's favorite jar of golden honey has gone missing. But who took it? Was it the clever fox, the sneaky squirrel, or maybe the sleepy rabbit? If not then who? Let's find out in this story. The morning sun slipped through the tall green trees of Willowwood Forest. A cool breeze brushed through the ferns, and somewhere in the distance, a woodpecker was drumming a cheerful beat on a hollow trunk. Right in the middle of that forest lived Rico, a big brown bear with the roundest belly and the sweetest tooth. Every day, Rico would wake up, stretch his furry arms, and mumble, "Ah, another day to taste some golden joy." And by golden joy, he meant honey. He loved honey more than naps, more than swimming, even more than the smell of rain. But he wasn't just any honey lover. He was a collector. He had a secret glass jar that he kept buried under an old oak tree, filled with the thickest, richest honey he could find. That morning, Rico carefully lifted the jar, admired its golden color, and said proudly, "You are my treasure, sweet jar. No one will ever find you." Then, with great ceremony, he buried it again, patting the soil with his giant paws. "Safe and sound," he said, yawning, "just the way I like it." The next morning, Rico hummed a tune and walked back to the oak tree. But when he dug the spot, his smile froze. The jar was gone. "No, no, no, no," he gasped. "It can't be." There was an empty hole, a few claw marks in the soil, some paw prints, and a single drop of honey glistening on a leaf. Rico's eyes widened. Someone stole my honey. But who? And so, the greatest investigation Willowwood Forest had ever seen began. Rico's first suspect was Sammy the squirrel, a jittery little creature who was always climbing trees and collecting shiny things. Rico shouted up, "Hey, Sammy, what's that in your paws?" Sammy squeaked, startled. "Nothing, just acorns." Rico squinted. "Acorns or honey drops?" He climbed halfway up the tree, shaking the branches. Nuts rained down everywhere. Plop, plop, plop. One hit him on the nose. "Ow! That's no way to treat a detective," he grumbled. Sammy folded her arms. "Rico, you're making a mess. Why would I want honey? It's sticky." Then something shiny caught Rico's eye. A golden drop stuck to a twig near Sammy's nest. He gasped, "Aha! Caught red pod!" Sammy sniffed it. "That's tree sap, genius." Rico blinked. It was indeed tree sap. He looked embarrassed. "Oh, right. My bad," he muttered, climbing down, covered in twigs. As he walked away, Sammy called, "Maybe check with someone who's awake at night, Sherlock Bear." Rico froze. Someone awake at night? That night, Rico visited old Ollie the owl, who sat silently on a low branch. Rico whispered, "Ollie, I need your help. Someone stole my honey jar." Ollie blinked slowly. "Honey jar, you say? I did see someone digging near the oak tree last night." Rico leaned forward eagerly. "Who was it?" Ollie tilted his head. "Couldn't tell. The moonlight was dim, but it was small, fast, and had long ears." "Long ears?" Rico muttered. "That sounds like Puffy the rabbit." Ollie hooted softly. "Or maybe your reflection in the puddle." "What's that supposed to mean?" Ollie just smiled. "Not all shadows are strangers, my friend." Rico didn't understand, but he thanked the owl and stomped off into the night. At sunrise, Rico stormed toward Puffy's burrow. "Wake up, you fluffy thief!" Puffy popped his head out, half asleep. "What's happening? Why are you shouting?" "You know very well," Rico growled. "You were digging near my tree last night." Puffy rubbed his eyes. "Me? I was sleeping. But wait a second." He frowned. "I did see someone like you walking around the tree yesterday evening, carrying something shiny." Rico blinked. "Someone like me?" "Yes, looked just like you. Same size, same fur, except maybe a bit clumsier." Rico tilted his head. "Another bear? There's no other bear in Willowwood." Puffy shrugged. "Maybe you've got a twin." Rico walked away, mumbling, "A twin? No way." Rico followed a faint trail of honey drops leading toward a small pond. "This must be it," he whispered. "The thief ran this way." He leaned over the water and froze. A big, brown, furry face stared back at him from the surface. "Aha!" he shouted. "I found you, thief!" He lunged at the water, splashing wildly. The reflection disappeared. Rico surfaced, coughing. Where did he go? He was right here. Of course, it had just been his reflection, but Rico didn't realize it. He sat by the pond, dripping wet, looking around suspiciously. A frog croaked nearby, almost as if laughing. Rico frowned. "Don't you start." As the sun began to dip, Rico trudged deeper into the forest and met Zilla the fox, who was lounging lazily near a rock. "Well, well," said Zilla with a grin. "If it isn't the famous detective." "I'm not famous. I'm furious," Rico grumbled. "Someone stole my honey." Zilla's eyes glimmered. "Oh, I might know who, but information isn't free, you know." Rico sighed. "Fine, what do you want?" Zilla smirked. "Just a jar of honey." Rico blinked. "What? That's the whole problem." Zilla laughed. "Relax, big guy. I'm kidding." The thief went north, up the hill near the old stump. Rico gasped. Finally, a real clue. He dashed away without a thank you. Zilla watched him go, still smirking. "Bears are fun," she said to herself. By the time Rico reached the northern hill, dark clouds had gathered. The wind howled through the trees, and rain began to pour. He searched under bushes, behind rocks, everywhere. Nothing. He sat down, soaked and tired. Was it all a lie? Did I lose it forever? Then lightning flashed, and in that brief light, Rico saw something shining near his oak tree in the distance. His eyes widened. No, it can't be. He ran back through the rain. Mud splashed, leaves flew. As he reached the tree, he saw it clearly now. A glass jar, half buried, glimmering under the soil. Rico froze, staring. Slowly, memory returned. Last night, he had dug up the jar himself, planning to move it somewhere safer before sleeping. But then it started raining, and he forgot to rebury it properly. The rain and wind had washed away the soil, revealing the jar again. He laughed out loud, clutching his belly. "Oh, Rico, you silly bear. You were the thief all along." The next morning, the forest was fresh and sunny again. All the animals gathered around as Rico told the story, with exaggerated pause and sound effects, of course. Sammy giggled. "So you accused me first." Puffy laughed. "And then your own reflection." Even old Ollie blinked slowly and said, "As I told you, not all shadows are strangers." Rico scratched his head. Yeah, lesson learned." He lifted the honey jar and said proudly, "From now on, I'll keep it simple. I'll just eat the honey instead of hiding it." Everyone laughed. As the forest filled with cheerful chatter, Rico dipped his paw into the jar and grinned. "Maybe I'm not a great detective," he said, "but I sure am a great eater." And that day, Willowwood Forest smelled sweeter than ever.